Hey, it's been some time since I've put up any sort of proper video on the channel, excluding the 2022 year rewind, whatever you want to call it. That video did not turn out initially as I recorded it. There was going to be a bit more added onto it, and whatever it is I remember from the original recording of that, I'll end up just saying here. Um, I'm not going to edit this. I'm just going to be right to the point with this. What is just going to be a pretty raw recording. So I guess I'll just start by saying, hey, hope you've all been doing alright. I haven't been great, if we're being perfectly honest. A lot's happened between now and the God of War Ragnarok review. There was, of course, the Game Awards live stream as well. And again, there was the 2022 review. But that review with the changes it went through and just, with it essentially just being a recap, I just I just don't really count it in the sense of a video like this. And I figure that now would be a good time to put up a video like this more than any. So, to start off properly, I guess we can go back a little bit to, and this is a mix of content and personal stuff, which I'm not going to get too in depth into the personal side of things, outside of the fact that I'm a pretty private person, and I like to keep things close to the chest in a sense. At the same time, I do have other reasons, and regardless of those reasons for being private, whether it's out of respect, whether it's just it's whatever, I still want to say something. So just a little explanation of where I've been. Again, this isn't anything heavily edited, just me talking, because I do need to vent. If we're being honest, there's a lot I'm pissed off about. There's a lot I feel very strongly about emotionally for a bunch of different reasons, with the whole plethora of different feelings culminating at the moment. The last week of December in particular was an absolute disaster. I wasn't kidding when I said that in the year review. But to start off, after the live stream, from there, I just really started becoming very burnt out, which is, it's probably the most burnt out I've been in terms of content and just gaming, just a lot of things, probably so far on the channel. I have had previous points earlier, no, last year now, middle of last year. I think it was June of 2022. That was a moment of just needing to uh, take some time off after burnout, and definitely more so this past month. And I wish it had stopped there. I really do. But sadly, that isn't the case. From there, there's personal matters which, on top of burnout, these things happening back to back, just really fucked with me and really affected me. Whether it's friendship, dating, family, financial things, everything, especially again in the last week of the month, especially, just completely fell apart. To start, I guess, just learning some things in regards to friendships, and these being friendships which haven't really been essential for a while. But, well, no, I don't want to put it that way. Just more so haven't been a big focus for a while. I think that's a better way to put it. And reasons which just gave me a reason to cut these ties loose. 8 to 9 years, which, I mean, I'm used to that by now. There's a lot I don't say. Being a private person, there's a lot I've had go on in my life in the last few years, not including the stay-at-home era of things. A lot of personal matters, but then from there, just a bunch of difficulties dating-wise, which, I mean, nothing but the best for all of that. Regardless of some feelings I have that I do hope I'm nothing but the best, really. And just also in regards to family, which actually, to backtrack a little bit, just going back to content before I get to the big thing, which I'm not going to get too into. Just actually, no, I'll leave that for the end. That'll come more into place after, since we're still in the burnout stage of things. So, family. So, I guess this really started with Christmas. This definitely reared its head in a few times. Definitely plenty of foreshadow, but it culminated to where this and the whole dating thing, especially happened in the last week of the month, and just other things. Like I noticed probably the stress things that caused me to eat sweets a bit more often than I used to. That mental health stuff with depression, anxiety, amongst other things, which I don't feel like talking too much about. But just everything to do with this family situation, which again, I'm going to be very personal, whether it be for privacy reasons or legal reasons. It's a doozy, man. And I mean, it's not the only time I've had to sadly burn bridges with family for a really severe situation, but this I can definitely consider the worst. For that reason, it's just, well, I guess I'll just get right to the point. My grandmother passed from a 6-year long battle with cancer on Christmas Day. She had a moment of being away from that for a while when it was gone for a bit, but then it came back, and then, hell of a fight. Strong lady. Was like a second mom. She was, essentially, with how she helped take care of me growing up. But that's not even the worst of it. It's one thing to fight a losing battle, especially at such an age. It's another to sadly be unaware of the consequences of what happens when you're gone, and because of that, certain family members have no reason to hide their true colors anymore. And there were signs, gut feelings. But I never really thought it'd be this bad. To put it simply, and I'm sure some of you may be able to relate to this, you see, when money gets tossed into the mix of things, specifically in regards to an inheritance, and certain people control that, and they're able to do what they want, which that's not something that's just gonna be just whatever. In fact, there was originally going to be a GoFundMe as a part of this video, but with how things are going, it seems that may actually not be needed after all. So that's a pleasant thing to mention. Don't need to fucking beg for money. But doesn't change the fact that for financial reasons, we gotta put money towards this thing. My mom specifically. And the thing is, this whole will issue could have easily just been avoided. It could easily just be a goodbye, never see you again, but no. No, see? In life, greed, ego, it really brings out how much some people just want to see someone suffer. It really goes to show just how much jealousy is a bitch. And no ill will when I say this. But karma's a bitch too. Again, no ill will. And shit happens. But when it's shit that could just be not there, it didn't have to be this way, man. I really just didn't want to speak. No one did. With the exception of certain people, because they can. But thankfully, problems do have their solutions. And things do get resolved in very legal and hopefully as positive of matters as possible. Again, this isn't the first time I've had to burn a bridge. And I imagine it won't be the last. I hope it's the last, but fuck if I know. I'm happy to have the support system that I do. It's just, when you can't properly grieve the loss of someone because of some fucking vultures that just have to get in the way of that. But hey, I have hope. Hence the whole, again, for the 100th time, nothing, no ill will. But when people do terrible things, I used to not be a believer in karma, but karma notices that. And when it hits someone for doing some egregious acts, it hits them fucking hard. Again, I'm happy to have the people in my life that I do. With or without them. Gotta get through them. Through this. There's more content to come, don't worry. I'm gonna get to that. I'm just... I mean, shit, what can you do, right? Just make the best of your circumstances. And just do what you can. But at the same time, something I'm thankful for is being the type of person I am. And maybe this has to do with the fact that I'm of a creative mindset, whatever you want to call it. I'm someone who has a tendency to pull from emotion, anger, whatever emotions, just, when I go through some shit, it can definitely get me sad depending on what it is, but I'm not one to stay sad for long. I'm someone to very quickly, when I'm down, get right back up and use that pain, emotion, whatever, tragedy, turmoil, whatever synonym you prefer to use as fuel to keep myself fired up and going. It's a part of my motivation. It's part of why I make this content. Actually, it's, there's a lot I want to do in the future outside of just gaming videos. And aside from being that, I'm a very disciplined person. And I'm always going to find sources of inspiration, motivation, whatever you want to call it. There's no denying that emotion, specifically from turbulent moments in life, really helps fuel that. Especially when the last few years of life, again, not including being stuck at home, with everything that happened from, honestly, 2017 to now, specifically 19 to 21. 22 was mostly a break, a decent year overall, a good year. December, again, specifically, the 2/3 of it is when shit really started to hit the fan. But it's thanks to this emotion that I have the fuel that I do. And I have a lot I'm going to be doing in regards to content. A lot that I didn't end up talking about in the 2022 review video. Because originally it was just going to be more of what I'm... Well, not more what I'm saying here, just focusing on things having to do with content. But then that got changed to where originally on January 1st, I was going to upload a video to do with the GoFundMe, like I mentioned before, in tweets and posts and such. Every social media platform, really. But then that got pushed back because, again, it seems like we may not need that, so... And I didn't want to keep fucking waiting. If something changes, I'll upload something. But I really just wanted to get this out. I felt this was a proper introduction to the year because of just where I'm at with everything. With just the lack of transparency as of late, which I know I'm not the most open person, but I'm definitely a lot more active than usual. It's just been a mix of a lot of shit, like I said. I'm sure there's some smaller things I'm forgetting. But in general, there's a lot I'm going to be doing with content this year. Initially, I wanted to get up a top 10 games of 2022 video, but sadly, I didn't play enough games. There just simply wasn't enough in 2022. A whole lot of delays, which I want to get out at least 10 reviews in 2023 because I know there's a lot of games coming out. I want to live stream at least one time a month per minimum. Originally, before the review got changed and the whole video, what this was going to be initially for January 1st, before that happened, I was going to get up a live stream for January 1st, but then things happened. And now here we are, a few days after the fact. And things are definitely better. Things are definitely better. And things are going to continue getting better. Specifically, again, with this channel, though, with the content this year, there's going to be a lot of big things happening. A lot of huge things I want to do. I want this to be the biggest year of the channel so far. And I guess just look forward to what's to come. Because I really want to go out. Especially with how I'm feeling right now. With all this pent-up rage that I have at the moment. It's not even sadness at this point. It's just fucking anger. You know, I'm not gonna lash out, break fucking holes in my walls. You know, that's for far pettier people to do. Instead, I'm gonna use this energy and pour it into making some fucking bangers for you all to watch. Like I said, I'm someone who pulls from emotion. So I'm going to really pour it into this. And not to get off topic, but specifically in regards to content. Hell, in regards to dreams, not even just with YouTube videos. There's a lot I want to do with making content outside of gaming videos, once again. Which you're all going to see someday. Some real big projects that'll be happening. These people, without getting too off topic, whatever that even means at this point, definitely threw a lot of doubt my way with all this, with my dreams that I'd like to do. I can't do this, so you can't do that. And although it's not something I care to do in regards to proving people wrong, I am happy to know that unlike some people, I stick to my goals. And even if it's not the intent, I do prove people wrong when they doubt me hardest. When the odds are stacked against me, that's when I'm at my most motivated and most fired up. One of the times, so if those people right now, if any of them are watching this video, hope you enjoyed. And to everyone else who's watching this at the moment, look forward to what's to come for content. Trust me, I'm not going to be super personal with this, with anything like this, with content constantly going forward. But I just really needed to get this out, man. Really fucking needed to. And I don't know what else to say, just for what it's worth, I hope you guys could enjoy this. Apologies for the lack of activity. That's the last thing I wanted? Like, for fuck's sake. Hell. I don't know. I wanted to do something to do with MW2 raids. That was an idea, a plan bugging I had. Play at some other point, though. It's not a big deal. It's just a little piece of DLC. Whatever you want to fucking refer to it as. Yeah. I wasn't anticipating to start off the year this way. Fuck can you do that, right? See you for the next upload, I guess. Later.